Hi, yep, you guessed it. It's me, Huge Movie Fanatic Nate, coming at you in December 2015 with a very small handful, probably the smallest batch of Christmas slash holiday movie reviews I've ever done. It's just kind of like, you know what, I mean, I don't know, the more you do, the more you've done, and the more, for me, holidays and Christmases and all that crap that go by, the less you really have any interest in partaking in the next one. It just gets to be kind of a broken record situation. But I like you know holiday lights and Christmas trees and Vince Guaraldi album of Charlie Brown Christmas and stuff like that. It's okay for a couple weeks, but at any rate, I'm here to review a couple holiday, Christmas slash holiday movies, and this first one that I'm going to start off the batch of reviews with, is something I picked up. Looks like Half Price Books dates their price tags, which is kind of cool, so they know how old stuff is and how they can move it through the store and put it in clearance or get the hell rid of it, which is really kind of cool because it can, as you longtime viewers know, I frequent Half Price Books, $2 and $3 DVD and Blu-ray collection and stuff like that, or Blu-ray section clearance aisles for several years, and it's kind of cool to be able to look at a title and say, oh, that's when I got it. But this title I'm reviewing, an absolutely horrid and atrocious Four Christmases, which apparently I picked up for $2 on DVD sometime after the 23rd of February this year, and I figured pick it up, watch it in December and review it, which I'm following the game plan now, obviously. But you can see I got it for sometime after the 23rd of February 2015 for $2. It's like 200 pennies plus tax. And I watched this a couple days ago, and it's like a whole 88 minutes including credits, and I got to tell you, it's almost impossible for me to get through. I mean, off the bat, I'm not a big fan of Vince Vaughn. We'll just leave it at that. I never really was, a fan of Vince Vaughn. I just think he's tall and annoying and just plays the same kind of whatever, just male chauvinist, piggish. I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean, just this kind of the same kind of character in so many of his quote-unquote comedies and stuff. And either, in my experience, either you like people or you don't. In this case, I don't like Vince Vaughn. What's her name? This is a Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon combination, and of course him being so tall and her being the height she is. I mean, as you can see, right, I don't know if this is exaggerated or not, probably not, but as you can see, I mean, the height difference is just like, whoa, But obviously, I'd rather hang out with Reese Witherspoon than Vince Vaughn for various reasons. But I'm not a big fan of either of these two. I mean, Witherspoon is, kind of okay on the eyes or whatnot, but she's kind of a female version of Vince Vaughn in a lot of ways for me, where it's just kind of like plays so much of the same character over and over, and I feel like she's, whatever she's done, she's already done, and she's just doing it over and over from here on out. So you got, in my opinion, a starring cast. The two leads are just basically people that I don't really like, just doing the same roles over and over and over. And I thought, I thought this would be better than it is. I mean, it's one of the worst, like Christmas slash holiday movies I've ever seen. It's rated, what's it rated? PG-13. It's just atrocious, and I've talked about in the past what I call corporate comedies, which are these cookie cutter, like assembly line comedies that are just like, the Judd Apatow shit and stuff with more cases than not, if Paul Rudd's in something, it'd be a lot of times what I'd call a corporate comedy and all this kind of shit, where it's more like just this inhuman, nasty, just soulless freaking comedy as opposed to, like, in my opinion, a lot of the John Hughes comedies had more of a soul to them and stuff like that. So this would firmly be placed in what I would regard as corporate comedy, and just like, by the numbers, just like nasty ass, annoying freaking comedy. The premise is these two, very much like Skipping Christmas or Christmas with the Cranks, which I think I reviewed last year. Their plan every year, which is kind of cool and something I agree with. Not that I go on vacations, I'm too cheap and lazy to do that, but this couple really doesn't go in for like marriage and having kids and during holidays and all that. And I'm kind of like, first of all, the movie starts with the best scene of the movie, which is this cool fake out. I'm going to complete spoil it, where they Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon appear to meet at a bar, and she's not too impressed, and he's like, hey bitch, get back here, and they go in the bathroom and they screw, and you think, God, that's how they hooked up. But it turns out they just role play and go out and do this funny lame ass stupid shit where they basically just pretend to be different. They're already together. The opening scene wasn't them meeting, it was just them doing this kind of nasty ass role playing and going and screwing in the bathroom. And it's like, once that scene happens, you might as well turn it off, because that's the best scene in the movie. Long story short, the couple is just not interested in marriage and kids and holidays. Something I I kind of was digging the movie, because I was like, oh yeah, I can relate to that, because that's my philosophy. They end up going on vacations, I think, every Christmas or whatever, and they lie to all their families, because after all, you can't spell family without lie. That's like a line from the movie. I haven't tried it, but I'm assuming it's correct. So anyway, they go off to these like Bahamas and all these beach community vacations every Christmas, it looks like, and they lie to their families that they're doing all this Greenpeace volunteer, maybe not Greenpeace, but helping people in Guam and sewing kids, doing humanitarian work and all this bullshit, and they're just these lying assholes. And for some reason, because of fog, they live in San Francisco. Their plan to go on this latest getaway beach warm place Christmas vacation is foiled, because there's too much fog for any planes to take off. So, and then just by chance, it's so stupid, they're on the news, and it's like, oh, well, how do you think about your plans being canceled? And then of course their family, live TV, and of course their families all, because they're all just fucking sheeple, every four of their families are, their parents are split up, so you basically have, in essence, 4 different families. So, and of course all 4, of the, both of their mom and dads are all watching this live, news thing. So it's like, oh, we're busted. We're on, we're on TV. God, I don't mean to do the whole plot, but we're on TV, so now we can't lie to our parents. Now we have to, now we can't go on vacation. Plus, they knew we were lying, and blah blah blah. So, long story short, the movie ends. The rest of the movie, which is, you've already seen the best part at this point, is basically them just going off to their 2 divorced families, each of their mom, and then they'll go to dad and mom and dad, or whatever. I can't remember exactly how it worked. Houses to do basically 4 Christmases in a day, or whatever the hell it is. And it's just so, maybe the idea is okay, but the way they pulled it off is just, like I say, corporate comedy, just nonsense bullshit. You got what's his name playing, someone's dad, and this just trailer trash setup. Jon Favreau and this other guy is just these asshole butch bastard brothers, and I guess you could call them the BBBs, just doing all this kind of shit and whatever, and it's just kind of, it's not, I don't think I laughed at really anything. I might have laughed at one thing or something, or maybe, chuckled with glee when the end credits rolled. I can't remember, but it seems like if I laughed at anything at all, it was only once, or maybe a chuckle at that. I know I smiled when the end credits rolled. At the end of the day, I thought this was absolutely atrocious. Obviously, it takes place in the West Coast, so there isn't a flake of snow, something as of being a Midwesterner I like to see in a Christmas/holiday movie. I like to see snow, like, vis-a-vis, like, Home Alone, or any other kind of Christmas movie, Scrooged or whatever. Being a Midwesterner, I don't like to see, California Christmases. Obviously they happen, and you got to make movies for the California people out there, I guess, who have Christmases, and Florida and Arizona people, but whatever. It's just one of the many things I despise about this movie. I'm going to go 1/4 of a star. That's a 1/4 of a star. That's not even a full star for this movie. I don't even know why it's getting, I guess the opening scene at the bar maybe is the only reason why it's really getting a 1/4 of a star. Also, one of Reese Witherspoon's sisters was kind of easy on the eyes, so maybe that's another reason why it got a whopping 1/4 of a star for 4 Christmases. That's out of 4 stars, by the way. 1/4 of a star out of 4. my score for the horrible, absolutely atrocious movie that is Four Christmases. This came out, I think, in 2008 and then 2009 subsequently on video. And you know, I just got it because I was like, oh, I can, you know, get it in February, and then we have something to review for December, which of course, like I said, I did. So for $2 plus some change, you know, you know what? After I bought the DVD, I had since come across the Blu-ray at Half Price Books, and probably for $3 in the clearance section, and I'm like, you know, this is during the summer or whatever. I'm like, should I get the Blu-ray? And I'm like, you know what? This movie's gonna suck so bad. If I get the Blu-ray, I'm gonna have spent $5 total plus tax on this movie, and it's gonna suck. So I'm glad I didn't buy the Blu-ray and only spent the $2 plus some change on this absolutely atrocious movie, which is, you know, Four Christmases. In a lot of ways, the movie's a perfect representation of just what I think of, you know, what holidays are for me. Just kind of this, you know, not that I feel compelled to do holidays. I don't do holidays. But it's kind of like what I talked about with the movie Christmas or with the Cranks last year. This you know, this unfortunate feeling that the majority of people feel compelled to participate and buy, you know, gifts for these people that they just, you know, don't, whatever. So I mean, it's just, I guess what I'm trying to say is the movie is as nasty as the holiday it represents, is what I'm trying to say. So I think I've already blabbed for way too long, so thank you very much for watching this review. If you did, and of course if you didn't, you're not seeing this anyway. So ho ho ho, Green Giant. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you next time.